Hello, my friends. Take a breath with me, and let's step into English together. This isn't about tricks or instant results, and it isn't a promise that a secret phrase will make you fluent by tomorrow morning. What we're building here is quieter and far more powerful, a mind that runs in English so your mouth can follow without fear. If you've ever stood in a conversation with something meaningful to say and felt the pause stretch too long, if you've watched your idea arrive late because your brain was busy translating, you already know the problem. The long route idea to native language to English was never designed for real-time speech. The shorter path idea to English feels strange at first, but once you walk it daily, it becomes the only road you need. Thinking directly in English is not about rushing. It's about removing the weight that slows you down so your natural pace can appear. Native speakers aren't fast because they're pushing harder, they're fast because they're not carrying translation in their heads. When you reduce that mental load, you speak with the same calm voice you use with family and friends, and your replies land on time. You will feel it in tiny moments first, the question that doesn't scare you, the sentence that arrives complete, the comfortable silence that you fill with your own words instead of panic. Those moments multiply when you practice gently and often. Start small and honest. Look around and tell the truth in simple present tense. The window is open. The fan is humming. My phone is charging. Then slip into yesterday and let the verbs follow. The window was open. The fan was humming. Drift into your next hour and let intention shape your words. The window will be open. I'll charge my phone later. You are not studying, you are noticing and naming. The muscles of your mind learn routes the way your feet learn sidewalks. If translation sneaks in, smile at it and return to English. You do not need to fight your old habit, you only need to outpractice it. Confidence grows in the same soil. It is not delivered to your door like a package. It is built from ordinary actions you can repeat on an ordinary day. When a sentence sounds awkward, take it as information rather than a verdict on your ability. Ask yourself which part resisted. Was it a verb form, a word order, a sound sliding between your teeth, and give that piece 2 attentive minutes. Then continue. Keep a few lines in a small notebook or in your phone where you record the quiet victories that would otherwise disappear. The moment you ordered lunch without searching for words, the message you left on a colleague's voicemail that sounded clear, the joke you understood on a podcast before the subtitles caught up. These are not small. They are your proof, and proof changes the way you speak next time. One of the softest ways to remove hesitation is to carry a pocketful of ready English chunks you can use without building them from scratch. Let them live as whole units in your mind, the way, I'm on my way, or, as far as I know, or, would you mind if, rolls off the tongue of a native speaker. Personalize them as you practice so they belong to your life. I'm on my way to the pharmacy, as far as I know, the meeting is still at 10. Would you mind if I join 5 minutes late? Think of these phrases as handles. When a situation appears, you don't have to lift the entire weight of a new sentence, you simply grab a handle that fits and swing it into place. Self-talk is your private laboratory. You don't need a partner for this, only a few loose minutes and a gentle tone. While you make coffee you can say, I slept pretty well, I'll finish that report today. On your walk to lunch, let your voice preview your plan, I might try that new place, after lunch I'll review the draft. In the evening, narrate your mood with honesty, I'm tired but satisfied, I'm texting my friend, I'm going to bed earlier tonight. If you want more structure, try a tiny frame that always works. One sentence about what you're doing, one about what you notice, one about what you intend. I'm replying to emails. My shoulders feel tight. I'll slow my breath and answer 3 more. In half a minute, you've trained your mind to stay in English and your body to stay calm. Shadowing adds music to the words. First listen without speaking so your brain hears the melody of the sentence. Then repeat short pieces with a small delay, copying the rise and fall more than the letters themselves. If you record a single line and compare it to the original, don't chase perfection, chase rhythm. Speech lives in stress and timing. A few minutes a day are enough to build the habit. Soon you'll predict the next phrase before it arrives, which is the brain's way of telling you it's no longer decoding syllables, it's anticipating meaning. Real English is a city, not a map. It's messy and fast and full of shortcuts. Thinking in English lets you move through that city without stopping at every corner for directions. Accept contractions as they are, not as tests that require expansion. Gonna, wanna, gotta carry clear meanings and should be recognized instantly. Listen for the backbone of a sentence, the plan, the problem, the decisio, instead of collecting every syllable along the way. Let the body of the speaker help you. A small sigh, a quick glance, a flat "I'm fine" aligned with slumped shoulders often says more than the words. Accents are nothing to fear. Hear them the way you see different fonts in print. The letters change shape, but the message remains. When water becomes vavder or wata, let your mind connect sound to meaning directly and the variation becomes normal. Reading aloud polishes your prosody. Choose a short paragraph, underline the words that carry weight, and read slowly with exaggerated stress before smoothing it into a natural pace. After a few days on the same text, you'll feel the route settle into your mouth. Pair that with a brief journal each evening. You don't need pages, 4 or 5 lines are more than enough. Touch yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and add a final line of gratitude or intention. I finished the presentation and learned the phrase ahead of schedule. I'm a little nervous about tomorrow's call, but I'll speak more slowly. I'll practice a few sentences before breakfast. I'm grateful for a steady 10 minutes today. Writing in English is retrieval. Retrieval builds memory. Memory shrinks the gap between thought and speech. The reason thinking in English accelerates learning is simple: direct links and deep context. When your mind connects an idea straight to its English shape, you no longer waste energy switching lanes. When you use words inside situations that matter to you, your brain builds a network instead of a single, fragile connection. Run changes from a list entry to a living set of meanings when it appears as "I run every morning," "she's running late," and "we run a small shop." Add a little spacing to your practice by touching the same phrase in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. The pathway strengthens each time. Add feeling by connecting phrases to music you love, conversations you care about, or memories that still glow. Add imagery by closing your eyes and speaking what you see. The sand is warm. The waves are calm. The sun is low. Your brain remembers layers. Preparation dissolves pressure. Build small packs of language for the moments you actually face. In meetings, you might lean on, just to add to that, "From my side, the main risk is," and "could we circle back to." In interviews, you can carry, "One strength I'm proud of is, a recent challenge I faced was, and here's what I did, and what I'm looking for next is." When traveling, you'll reach for, could I get directions to, is there a faster way to get there, and, I'm allergic to, what do you recommend? Practicing these lines out loud for a few minutes over 2 days turns uncertainty into retrieval. When the moment arrives, you won't create English under stress, you'll recall it under control. Your body is part of your language system. If you sit or stand with ease, place both feet on the ground, roll your shoulders back, and let your breath slow, your jaw and voice follow. Speaking on a soft exhale steadies your pace. Ending a key sentence with a gentle slowdown tells your listener you're certain. Holding your tone up slightly at the end of a genuine question invites a reply. These are not tricks, they are ways to help your thoughts arrive as clearly as they sound in your head. You do not need a complicated plan to make progress you can feel. 10 honest minutes repeated day after day will outwork any perfect schedule that dies on day 3. In a small daily session you can glance around and speak what you see, echo a short clip with care, talk to yourself with the 3-sentence frame, bend a handful of favorite chunks around the details of your real day, and close with a few lines in your journal. Each week, lean your attention toward a theme you actually use. General tenses at first, small talk and clarifying language next, then the phrases your work requires, and finally a short story told once with simple steps and once with a few smooth connectors like because, however, and in the end. Track only what matters, how many days you showed up, how many chunks feel automatic, and how your voice sounds in a single recording you make at the end of the week. These are honest signals that rise when your practice is real. When trouble appears, and it will, you don't need to negotiate with it. If your mind goes blank, speak about the blank and move through it. I'm not sure what to say. I'm going to start with this morning. If people sound fast, catch the backbone and check your understanding with one clean line. So we're meeting at noon, right? If translation keeps walking back into the room, give yourself a gentle reminder to stay in English and, when possible, choose an English synonym or a simpler structure rather than flipping into your first language. If you're afraid of sounding silly, offer yourself one brave minute and stop there. Courage, like muscle, grows from brief, repeatable effort. If you feel stuck, change one thing: the accent in your audio, the level of your reading, the set of chunks you practice, or simply the time of day you speak to yourself. Brains love novelty tied to routine. It helps to turn exposure into understanding with a simple ritual. Watch a short scene without subtitles and let your ears take the first look. Watch again with English subtitles to line up sound and text. Borrow a line or two that contains a chunk you can actually use and speak it until the rhythm feels friendly. Then retell the scene in a few sentences using your own words. That final retelling is the moment where language moves from something you recognize to something you own. In the end, fluency is steady, not loud. It grows in small, honest sessions, not in grand promises. Your job isn't to impress anyone, it's to arrive for a few minutes and keep English present while you are there. Each time you show up, you shorten the distance between thought and speech. You'll notice it first in the tiniest of victories, and then one day in a moment that surprises you, you answer before you realize you've formed the sentence, you catch a joke without leaning on text, you tell a short story and watch someone lean in. Nothing magical happened that day. You simply collected the interest on months of gentle practice. So here we are, at the quiet place where progress begins. Look around and tell one true sentence about your world in English. Let a second sentence follow it. Keep your shoulders low, your breath slow, and your words honest. The doors you want to open don't ask for perfect English. They ask for present English, living language that leaves your mind and reaches another person. Think in English from the first second of your day, keep your practice light and repeatable, celebrate the wins no one else sees, and trust the calm arithmetic of consistency. The mind you're training will carry your voice where you want it to go.